This week, a teenager has mutant magic powers and yet is not an X-Man. We'll find out how that's possible in Sleight. And Tom Hanks plays Dumbledore to Emma Watson's Beauty as she encounters another beast in The Circle. And how to be a Latin lover, because no one asks how to be a German lover. Ta-da! It's the new movie show. Welcome to the new movie show, the latest in video excellence from the movie guys. That'd be me, Paul Preston, and my merry band of Muppets who essentially act out and say hilarious things which make the show harder to do. We're here as ever to tell you about new movies, and this week that includes The Circle, Sleight, and How to Be a Latin Lover. They don't stop making movies, so expect a new show like this every week. So let's get right to it. Our first film is The Circle, based on the book by Dave Eggers, author of a heartbreaking work of staggering genius. A title so ironic and long that it gives itself a promotion halfway through. To find out what it's all about, let's go up close with Karen.
In The Circle, Tom Hanks plays Eamon Bailey, a Steve Jobs-esque technological entrepreneur first seen giving a Tom talk about his latest innovation, artificial intelligence that knows all and sees all.
When we are our best selves, the possibilities are endless. At The Circle, there isn't a problem that we cannot solve.
May Holland, played by Emma Watson, escapes her dull office job for the exciting life at The Circle, one of those San Francisco tech companies that's on the forefront of innovation in every way, except catchy names for San Francisco tech companies. The Circle has plenty of foosball tables and coffee bars to distract its employees from the reality of their true business, spying on everyone. Here's a clip of The Circle explaining surveillance equipment.
The Ettenauer is actually worn over the head. Isn't that something?
Then May discovers secret drones. Yeah! Which can monitor your everyday life and then attack you psychologically. Drones really have come a long way since the early days. Because why wait for the government to make all your private habits public when you can work for a company that already does it for you?
Do you think you behave better or worse when you are being watched? We have cameras in place all over the world right now.
Yes, you do. They're called our phones. And whether or not people behave better or worse when they're being watched, well, according to everything I say on Instagram, the worse you behave, the more people watch. So it's like Google meets the Church of Scientology.
Oh. So it's a movie about Apple.
Exactly. Only not as evil.
Are you sure?
I am a believer in the perfectibility of human beings. At The Circle, we can finally realize our potential. When we are our best selves, there isn't a problem that we cannot solve. We can cure any disease and we can end hunger. Imagine the human rights implications. The possibilities are endless. Knowing is good, but knowing everything is better.
Things go from good to better when The Circle introduces their newest product. Everything that's ever scared you about technology.
We will see it all. If it happens, we'll know.
The ETESYAT knows everything about you and is watching you at all times, just like you've always been comfortable with. And John Boyega plays a fellow employee who worries a new technology could see their every move.
Oh, baby.
And could be used to chase them down during the last 30 minutes of the movie, like Will Smith and Gene Hackman in Enemy of the State.
Man, these guys sound like a bunch of circle jerks. Hey, that is Hall & Oates in the trailer, isn't it? Private Eyes is the latest song to get the sinister, creepy treatment in a movie trailer. Although, in fairness, that song was already creepy. I'm ready to trust this movie on casting alone because it also stars Patton Oswalt and the last screen appearance of the great Bill Paxton. Unless another one comes out after I've said this. For other thoughts on casting, we turn to Bart Caius for Caius on Casting.
Who doesn't love Tom Hanks?
Knowing is good, but knowing everything is better.
Spoken like a man who never walked in on his parents having sex. But being part of the circle means you might have to listen to Tom Hanks' voice everywhere you go, every day of the week.
Thank God it's Friday!
But the circle may run into a problem because they cast Tom Hanks as the leader of this company cult. I mean, come on, could you have cast a more personable and welcoming guy? Shouldn't the leader of an evil company cult be a little more sinister? Having Tom Hanks portray the figurehead of a brainwashing, self-serving organization is like having someone as likable as, oh, I don't know, Tom Cruise be the official spokesman for a crazy church.
We can rehabilitate criminals. Way to happiness, we can bring peace and unite cultures.
Where do I sign?
Adam is going to help us preview this next movie because it has something to do with superpowers. It's called Sleight and stars Jacob Lattimore.
Who played Jeff in The Maze Runner.
Was he the guy who ran in the maze?
I think they all ran in a maze in that movie.
Ah, so that makes him
Jeff.
So you do magic?
I mean, a little.
Sleight tells the story of Bo, played by Lattimore, an inner city kid who, like most inner city kids, dreams of getting to the outer city.
Sleight. I get it. It's a double entendre. Sleight and sleight, as in sleight of hand, but also sleight as in all of the social indignations he suffers as a result of being a minority in a low-income residential area. Clever.
Now maybe it's just because Hocus Pocus was already taken. Like so many black teens, Bo uses his talents to pull himself out of poverty. But unable to rhyme and with a pathetic free throw, Bo turns to street magic.
It's like saying black dudes are blown away by magic tricks. Stereotypes are fucked up, but that one's on point.
He's much like David Blaine, but far less annoying. And as a student of magic, I can tell you it's not easy to play a role like this convincingly. Pretending to know how to do magic, that is. Not be less annoying than David Blaine. That is a piece of cake.
Get the fuck out of my house.
And speaking of doing magic for the perpetually stoned, Bo soon turns to a life of drug dealing. It turns out that street magic doesn't pay the bills. Bo uses card tricks to acquire the power all young boys want to possess. Getting chicks. Because chicks love magic.
They do?
David Copperfield married Claudia Schiffer. Case closed. Now, Bo strikes up a relationship with Holly, played by Seychelle Gabriel, when he discovers that she's never seen any of Chris Angel's tricks.
Oh.
Is that your car?
Seeing drug dealers use their superpowers of having guns for bad, Bo eventually is inspired by Holly to use his powers for good. In the end, Sleight answers the age-old question, how does he do it? With the answer, CGI.
Man, there's probably going to be a run on kids learning magic to better their social situation. It'd be so much easier if they all had an Aunt Medea.
I'm calling the police.
I ain't scared no popo. Call the popo ho. Call the popo ho.
We all know how to be a Latin, be born in South America. But how do you become a Latin lover? That'll cost you. I've brought Bart back to talk about our final film of the week because I'd like to see him try and work a Tom Cruise reference into a preview of a movie called How to Be a Latin Lover. This film features such well-known actors from Mexico as Salma Hayek, Omar Chaparro, Rob Lowe, and Christina Bella.
Do you mean Rob Lowe and Kristen Bell?
And my friend, you have so much to learn. How to Be a Latin Lover stars Eugenio Derbez. If you've never heard of him, it's because you've never heard of him. Like hundreds of other actors, Eugenio has been a comedy star on Mexican TV for decades. But unlike the rest of them, you've now heard of him.
In How to Be a Latin Lover, NASDAQ symbol Hitball, Derbez plays Maximo, an aging gigolo whose easy street hits a dead end when his sugar mama buys the newest model of gold digger. Adding insult to injury, she not only dumps him, but she dumps him for Michael Cera.
I missed you.
You deserve a nice, refreshing beverage after the workout we just... Hey!
You cheated on me with a car salesman?
No, a little.
Maximo soon finds the art of picking up women has changed when nobody wants to VHS and chill. As a result, he's forced to go and live with Salma Hayek.
Hot!
She's his sister.
Kinky hot!
And her son, Hugo.
Continue.
Maximo and Hugo begin to bond over their mutual attraction to the fairer sex, and Maximo decides to take Hugo under his wing and teach him the ways of seduction, like how much roofie to put in a girl's juice box.
I'm great in bed.
What?
I don't pee or anything anymore.
But Maximo's tutorial sessions with Hugo are short-lived when he gets a look at his nephew's crush's mom. She's just his style, rich, older, and Raquel Welchy. She's such a dead ringer for Raquel Welch that nobody could play the part but Raquel Welch, who hasn't been seen in a movie since back when Drew Barrymore was in them.
Maximo hatches a plan to seduce Welch so he can once again return to the life of luxury, leisure, and Matlock reruns. She tries to throw him off the trail by wearing one of her many wigs.
In a perfect world, all men would be handsome, and all pools would be heated.
But who will mentor Maximo in the new ways of romance? Rob Lowe, of course, who was a sex symbol back when a sex tape could actually ruin your career.
Don't make me use this. Won't.
But we're not even sure which Rob Lowe is going to show up here.
Now I'm super creepy, Rob Lowe. Then I have cable.
Hugo, the nephew, is played by Rafael Alejandro. And if you're thinking to yourself, man, this is one authentically Latin cast, I'll have you know that Rafael is from Canada.
Really? America has to go to Canada to find Latin actors for this movie? Thanks a lot, Trump. What's next? Getting all of our black actors from Great Britain?
Traitor! This film is directed by Ken Marino of The State, Party Down, Wet Hot American Summer, and recently seen in a movie about a guy who lives in his ass. So, you know, he's got range.
And how is there a movie called How to Be a Latin Lover starring Selma Hayek, and Selma Hayek isn't getting naked in it? I already want my money back, and I haven't seen it yet.
The rest of the cast includes Rob Corddry, Rob Hubel, and Rob Riggle. You could say this film got robbed.
Shut up!
If Rob Lowe is giving out advice on how to be a Latin lover, then we're pretty sure anybody can do it. Turns out the ability to become a Latin lover has been available all along, thanks to the Learning Chalet, makers of educational videotapes for decades. Let's pop it in and get ready to fend off hordes of señoritas.
Thank you for purchasing this educational cassette from The Learning Chalet. Tape number 95, How to Be a Latin Lover. Other tapes you might consider in this series: How to Marry a Millionaire, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, How to Train Your Dragon, and How to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. So you're one of the many men trying to attract a woman of the opposite sex. If you're listening to this tape, then you probably know how to date. You may even know how to love. But you've chosen to take this to the next level and become a Latin lover. Well, the next time you're on a date and you want to spice things up, try one of these useful phrases. Let's say you're at the restaurant. Break the ice by ordering for her with this handy phrase: Isurio ad cor meum inimicum. Which means, let us feast upon the hearts of our enemies. Let's say the conversation turns to politics. Ordinarily a faux pas, but not when you're a Latin lover. Simply catch her gaze and utter this Latin phrase that has wooed women for centuries. Carthago delenda est. Or Carthage must be destroyed. As the evening progresses, reassure your potential mate that you and her are intellectually equal with this handy Latin phrase: Barba tennis sapientes, which means, I am as wise as far as my beard. Of course, you will want to find common ground. It will be easy to ingratiate her to your humanity and knowledge of Roman literature by telling her, Homo sum humani a me nihil alienum puto. Which means, I am a human being, so nothing human is strange to me. Now you're cooking. Latin style. Plato would be proud. Now, if you've gotten the subject of your affections into the bedroom, make your mate quiver at your embrace by whispering to her, Velocius quam asparagi conquantur, letting her know that you'll be done faster than you can cook asparagus. Congratulations, you're one step closer to being a Latin lover. And if your Latin charms snag the woman of your dreams and even get her to the bedroom, but you're unable to seal the deal, the Learning Chalet Educational Cassette number 95 comes equipped with
Big Jim Sleight. Big Jim, former tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, is outfitted with various whips, chains, and a sexual appetite that will knock your socks off. Big Jim has satisfied women throughout the world, and the capital of Nebraska is Lincoln.
I like nothing better than a Jim Slade ex machina.
That's good.
And that wraps up another show. Pretty good. That's 3 under the belt. So well, by now, I mean, what have we learned? Let's go around the table. Come on, from your heart, what have we learned? Adam?
There's been a lot of learning going on, Paul. I mean, in fact, I think this week I learned that Raquel Welch is still really hot.
I do her.
You know, age-defying kind of, you know.
Absolutely, I agree. Karen?
Good lesson.
I guess I learned that the life of Lothario can be really hard on you, and also wearing yellow is a privilege. It is not something everyone can get away with.
Don't I know it?
Got to figure that out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bart, how about you?
Well, Paul, I've thought long and hard about this because I knew you were going to ask this question. And, well, Pisghetti!
Oh, yay!
There's a guy that takes learning to a new level.
Actually,
you learn all your life.
Forks. How's that for learning?
Fork you, Bart.
Movie, guys!
Only 6 of these cameras were ever made. Only 5 of them ever worked. We had 4 of those.